moment of this final. If you enjoy the sport and the game that you love, it's going to be much more fun when you walk home from victory. Don't let it go past you because you're panicking the whole game because you're worried because it's the final. Absorb this moment and go out there and take it. Grab it by the horns and you control this game. This is your time. It's your time, guys. Go. Come on.
So the SB Athletico Soccer Club was started, and I'm thinking 2013, 14, something like that is when we kind of officially sanctioned our club. Born in Nissaquag, New York, is where I grew up. I was extremely fortunate to grow up in a wonderfully loving family led by my mother and my father. My father is not only, him and Jim would be my best friends in the world, and also my mentor. My mother is, probably most of my personality comes from my mother, to be honest with you. She is a fearless human being, and my mother was always a person who was kind of taught me a lesson of, you think about what you want and then you analyze it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything unless you jump off the diving board. So in 2008, that's when I started my current company, which is Draper Asset Management, and it's been wonderful. I mean, it's a privilege that I was allowed to do by my father's tutelage, but also my wife, Sarah. But my wife is similar to my mother that I kind of described. She's she is an amazing person, absolutely my soulmate, and absolutely someone again who's kind of very much in the mindset that if you want to do something, give it a whirl. And quite frankly, we're here talking about the soccer club. My wife was always the one, whenever I would talk about starting a soccer club, she would, she has a good sense of humor. She'd always basically say, yes, start your own club. You can't get along with anyone. And, every club you go into, you wind up getting kicked out of. And that was true, okay?
Coaching for me, it's not just the game of soccer.
I set important values in my players that relate to soccer, but it also helps them on and off the field on how to deal with adversity, situations, proper way of acting, preparing them for the next chapter of their lives. And that to me holds a very valuable, important piece to me. It's not just teaching the game. You know, there's a lot of people that can teach the game, but I know I gain a lot of respect from a lot of my players. And when I talk to my players, it's very important that I deliver a good message because I know they're listening. My coaching style is I visualize the game. I'm a very big possession, play the simple pass, panic-free kind of coach. My overall vision of the game is to play small soccer, to draw defenders into a tight space and reopen up to a more open space. And that I think soccer is an art, and it should be played like an art. But flip of a dime, I can change my style up tomorrow to have my team more successful.
I've known Dave Pfaff forever. He's a hell of a soccer coach. He's crazy, but he's a hell of a soccer coach. So I said, okay, let's bring him down. So I brought him down, and I had 5 or 6 of my, super studs. And I said, Dave, here you go. Show me what you got. So Dave went out there, ran a wonderful session. The kids loved him. But then Dave said something to me that, quite frankly, it was probably another 2 years before I spoke to him. So Dave Pfaff comes up to me and goes, yeah, it's a nice little team. Nice little team? It's like, what are you, effing crazy? I just showed you the future World Cup champions, and you said nice little team? I crossed them off the list. I was done.
So I said, he has a nice little team here. And that was it. My relationship pretty much ended with Rob that day, because Rob, in his mind, had the next United States national team. I mean, it was pure chaos at that age. So they was like, Dave, I need you to work with them. And Rob says, that's it, man. I want you to take over the boys, and we're gonna stick to our guns. We're not gonna try to bring in all these different kids. Your job is to take what we have and start building it. And we started seeing some nice things. And I think that's when Rob said, all right, I'm gonna keep you around for a little longer than expected. I looked at it, we have a chance to go to a final in New Jersey for a regional showcase for the New York Cup. You have an opportunity, and we're good enough and we've been playing well enough to do it. You lose today, there's no semifinal. I want to get to the semis, but we need to win this game first. So everybody that goes out there today, play the best of your ability.
Now, if you come a long way, you can play. All right? And take the best of your opportunity today and make it happen. Now, understand some things. When I say play your best ball, I'm not asking you to now be a superstar and make this about you. This is a day where players on this field not only become great players, but become great leaders. Anybody can walk into a room and say, I'm the best soccer player. But when it comes to putting the ball down at your feet and proving it, that's a different story. Today is a game that has to be all about possession. You got to fight as a team from the beginning of the whistle to the last whistle.
Coach Dave, he's a very good coach. He is very hard on us. He pushes us to the limits. At practices, he gets mad at us, but he knows that we have potential to become really good.
I think Coach Dave is a great coach. I wouldn't want any other coach on Long Island. I think he gets tough sometimes, but it's all from the right place. He's also just a great motivational speaker.
I think he's an amazing guy. He pushes us to our limits, and he does what he sacrifices a lot of his time to be with us.
Dave always tells us the truth, and he always wants us to be better. He wants to make us better people and players. He shows very hard work and dedication, and it's great. I love that about him.
He helped me improve everything a lot, and he's really fun to be around and funny.
Strong personality. He's a great coach. He pushes us to be better. I think he's a great person. He loves everybody on the team. He takes care of everybody. He pushes everybody the same way. He pushes me.
I think it's the right style we play because eventually everyone wants to possess the ball, and the way he set it up was great with Brandon in the back and having Jesse up top to score goals, and the middle is really strong. So I think he did an amazing job with all the pieces we have.
Any coach that has the top 15 players in the state, yeah, you can say you're a good coach. So for me, I also like it too, is because we had different levels of abilities on this team. But we were still going out there and being successful because what I was trying to do was I was eliminating certain kids' weaknesses and just attacking their strengths. So teaching the boys, okay, if this kid's not fast, let's not hit the ball into open space and make him go get it. Put it at his feet, he'll be better. Kids that may not be the best footwork, okay, but he's able to do this. You know, when I was doing that, I took like your son, right? When I used to play with him in practice, he was annoying. He would just be all over you, just constantly, and he was lightning fast. But I wasn't a big fan of his individual footwork. So I said, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to play defense. Now there's not a defender I'd rather have on the field. He's ferocious. When we play against a team that has an electrifying, unbelievable, dominant, threatening forward, I put Yajan on, that kid's done the rest of the game.
My favorite coach of all time. I came in, I'm not gonna lie, I was bad at soccer. And then Dave, he helped shape me up to what I am now. He helped teach me how to defend, teach me how to use my speed instead of just running aimlessly in circles. Teach me how to pass better, how to control the ball, first touches. Everything I do now is because of Dave. Without him, as I said earlier, I wouldn't be what I am right now.
So that's the thing about coaching is, just because a kid says I'm a forward, just because the parent says my kid's this, my job is to figure out, okay, how do I figure out how to make you the best player you can be? It's not what your parents want you to be, it's not what you want to be. I want to kick field goals for the New England Patriots. I can't. But what I can do is I can figure out a way to make you very successful, and that's And that's what we did. We took these boys, and I had to figure out everybody's strengths, everybody's weaknesses, and then design a game plan around that.
And I will tell you, all of the boys, they don't just have a coach in Dave Pfaff. They have a older brother, a caring uncle, okay? You know, that's what they have. You know, Dave was really smart with regard to understanding that developing some winning and developing, not that winning is at all costs, but developing, you know, the mind memory of winning some stuff was very important. And I think this last season that went by, you know, we had some really great wins. And we also, I think the team is ready to also have some very difficult setbacks because they think they're ready to handle it. We would be in the championship cup right now, and you know, we certainly, it was right there. And you know, when I look at the boys team, you know, as far as the process of how they are where they are, I think they're in an incredible spot. And I think that you know, I think that the future is going to be incredibly bright. So I really do.
A soccer guy. Everyone might think that I'm all involved. I know the positions. I know certain things that they have to do. I am a football, lacrosse, baseball, basketball guy. And I love soccer now. I love sports. I love to see the kids grow. And my job was to just show up on the other side of the sideline where the parents are at, set up my camera, record and leave. I didn't have to get involved. And then I got involved a little bit more with Rob and with Dave, and I started with the boys, filming the boys with the soccer stuff. But it's funny because I used to make fun of soccer. Now I love it. So yeah, that SB Athletical means like family to me. It means unity. It means pick your head up when your head's down, because people start to lose focus when it comes to youth sports. I always want to win championships and make these powerhouse teams, and it's good to have that, but it's also good to have friendship and memories, and not just be worried about if you're going to lose your position on a team. Or yeah, we have to work for the main goal of becoming good soccer players and do stuff like that, but it's also about becoming good human beings. And I thank Rob and Dave for allowing me to be around the boys and the parents also, because I can get crazy at times on the sideline yelling and stuff, and certain parents can be like, whoa, what is that? But it's really about the love that I have for the kids, because I'm there to protect them. Really, I'm always yelling because of a foul or uncalled plays, which Rob calls me up on the side. Man, he calmed down, and I calm down, but Dave doesn't. He protects the boys in a different way, and I feel like I protect them in my dad way. And then off the field, you know, I joke around with the kids because, you know, they keep me young.
I love Manny. He will always be someone special in my life because, you know, I just love him. He's an amazing person, someone I look up to. He came from somewhere I came from, so it's like the same story. He sees me in him.
He's just like such a nice guy. I don't know, man. He's just like so cool. He has the camera. He's just so encouraging. Like it's like, oh, like when we won that game, he was so excited. Like he's like one of our biggest fans, even though like he doesn't have like a kid on the team.
He just encourages us to play better. He just helps us put our head back in the game. It's just nice to have him on the bench with us.
I think he's very important to the team with like filming the game and being there to like encourage all of us. I think he's very good at that. And I think he's just very important to the team.
We had a game recently the other weekend. I don't think that was one of my best performances that game, but he saw me. He knew that I was mad about my performance. He knew that I could have done better, but he told me to not give up, to keep pushing myself. He said, we had another half. Make this your best half you've ever played.
Whenever like I make a save, he's always screaming like great job, and he's recording it, and we have all the games on with video, so that's great.
Manny brings a lot of encouragement, charisma, enthusiasm. He's a real asset to the team.
I think Manny's a great person, and I love what he does for the team. He records the games, he helps people, and he understands the game well as well. He brings so much more than just filming our games and stuff like that. Having like a thought on the sideline different than Dave and Rob, I think it's awesome. He's always hyping everyone up, so I love Manny on the sideline. He brings so much to our team.
I tell the guys, this is my favorite quote when I tell them. I'm like, guys, soccer's soccer, but being a man is being a man. And being respectful, God-fearing, whatever it is you guys choose, but respect your parents and know whatever you say, stand by it. And the same way you play on the field, be in life like that. Hard work and being driven. Like, it plays a lot of roles in sports.
Draper's Land. There's gonna be barbecue, water slides, wiffle ball obviously, and the pool. We're just gonna have so much fun with the team, and we have our ups and downs in the field, but we forget about it because obviously we're teammates. But bonding is like communication is so strong during a team, because without communication, what team are you? Yeah, it's very nice to see my teammates. It's amazing.
I think the bonding is more just everybody enjoys being there. Nobody's dreading coming to practice, or it keeps everybody like on the same page, and everybody's always motivated. Everybody always wants to be there.
The wiffle ball game, it kind of put us close together. It built a strong relationship between all of us.
I think it's more of a team bonding thing and just a get-together instead of hard work training. Just a relax, something to calm us down.
The best part about it is just having fun with my friends. Even if you strike out or walk someone, it's like team connecting.
I think it's very important because if we want to be successful, we have to have a good connection.
It was good. It brought us closer, like just talking with each other and just hanging out.
At hitting, definitely Rob. Pitching was Dave.
Well, Dave was the lefty and hitting over the short porch. Rob gave up all our home runs, and I think he got one base hit, but definitely Dave. He was pretty good at pitching, and he hit really well. So that's got to be Dave.
I think Dave was better because before we played the game, he hit like 3 home runs.
I think Dave was a better player. He's a lot better at pitching.
I gotta give this one to Dave. Dave had the strength, he had the power, he knew where to hit, and he was throwing a couple good pitches.
The team bonding now it's not middle country. It's not the Smithtown boys. It's not like I said, the cliques. But it's a bond, you're right, it's a family now. You don't see on the sideline, you're right. There used to be a group here, a group in the middle, and a group there, and then me and Dave standing there. Now they're all sitting together. They all picking each other's heads up. They have their moments though, you know, when they're yelling at each other, cursing at this kid, or they get mad. They're boys, they're competitive, they want to win. But at the end, when the whistle blows, they all come together again. And you know, I went to throw it off soccer. These kids are playing deck hockey together. I was actually going to the hockey game. I know certain kids that played on the team. It was really the soccer team with 4 other guys that play hockey. And that's great to me. And you know, over the summer, they're getting grown, you know, the girls are coming around, these guys are looking at girls and stuff like that. And they talk about the girls and they talk about this and they talk about that. And it's more family stuff. So I think the plan that I had for all this is family and becoming better men. And it's all coming together, I believe.
Brian Whitten has 2 kinds of players in him. Rudy Rudiger and Rocky Balboa. If you can mate those 2 people and have a child, that's them.
Ryan is the kid on the team who does all of the dirty work. Undeniably has an attitude of team first. He is able to play a game where oftentimes he is called to, hey, send you back and play a little fullback, okay? Hey, we need you up here at striker. The kid played with his hand in a cast, okay? And quite frankly, would probably play with a broken bone in his foot. Just like his dad, he can goof around with you. He's got a good sense of humor. He'll be joking around, but would you want to mess with him in a million years? No way. Another kid that you clearly notice how valuable he is when he is not there.
2 things coaches say, he's either the heart of the team or he's the engine. Pick one, that's him. I'll just say this about Ryan. If he's not on the field, we're a different team.
Dean was the master of making beautiful passes that went to no one. And he was getting knocked around. And, you know, I give Lauren a lot of credit. Lauren went up to him and she basically said to Dean, you know, I don't care that you're small. Get yourself out there, and if you're not going to give me 100%, we're not doing this.
Dean's a good boy because Dean allows me to get in his head. One of Dean's weaknesses I always thought was his physicality out there. And I would tell Dean numerous times at practice, you and I are going to tackle each other, or you can do it against that 13-year-old. And he started understanding. He became probably in a short period of time, one of our top players on the team.
Landon is incredibly comfortable and happy with who he is. It's something where, you know he's going to be unbelievably successful, because the only thing that could possibly stop that kid is if he had some misperception about sort of the skill set he brings to the table. I mean, let's look at him. He's smart. He's a big, tall kid. He's good looking. He's a good athlete.
Landon is a very good athlete. Landon plays multiple sports. And then when I put him in the game, Landon used to try to dribble and everything. Now he plays one touch and smart. Unbelievable. He's physical. He wins balls in the air. He follows on shots. He's a really good player.
I have a game in my mind, New York Cup game. Landon makes a big play and passes it up to my son who scored. I have a lot of those kind of memories with Landon, and I have a lot of them even now. He scored that goal. How many times have I seen him? You know, he's kind of, you know, he's in there. He's impossible to get by because he's so damn long. He's always deflecting a ball. I always think of Yajin as like, if you can imagine playing a game and having a beehive, you know, sort of chase you around, that's what it's like. He's relentless on the soccer field.
Soccer is a game that has so many different kinds of ability, and his strength is very strong. He is a person that benefits from the game of soccer. Okay? He is a very hard working competitor.
Amazing confidence in that he is totally comfortable being completely kind to everyone, doesn't care if he looks goofy, thinks it's cool that he just acts that way, and I hope he never loses that.
You mean AKA Harry Kane. Passion and drive. That's what I think of Tommy. When you watch Tommy play, you really see that he loves the game. He understands it. But he really loves the game. He sees the game. He's passionate. Yeah, that's Tommy.
Little Tommy is smart, and I think oftentimes I don't always realize how much we value him until he's not there. On a soccer player level, I think it's going to be very interesting when one summer, you will not have seen little Tommy for a couple weeks. He'll come back, he'll be about 6'2". But yes, I mean, couldn't be a better kid out there as far as his personality. The key to getting things going, he's one of these people that you can easily do almost anything with, on the field and off the field. But he's almost kind of like a kindred spirit. And I'll tell you another thing, his play on the field can play multiple positions and is definitely, again, one of these players that, especially in games, notice things that he does like, wow, I didn't see he could do it.
But man, you don't realize it, but he's listening and he's learning. And he became a very, very good player. I could put him as an outside midi, a center back, a forward. He does a great job. He's someone I think benefited from the transition. Jesse's like an onion. You gotta peel him off, peel it back one layer at a time. So talented. He's another smart boy, but will challenge you. It's tough sometimes because he's got that passion, he's got that fire.
Jesse understands social situations at a very, very high level. The most important thing I can say about him is that if any of the kids were ever in a situation that called for somebody to be there and maybe take a beating with your friends, Jesse's loyal, and he would be loyal.
He's a player that can single-handedly put the team on the back and take us to victory. Very, very thankful he's a part of our team. It's a tough position that he plays. The way he comes off his line is better than any goal I have seen. Where some teams or some goalies are going to be put onto more one-on-ones and breakaways, he reduces that because he knows how to come off his line. And I'm really excited to see how much he's going to grow in this position.
Trevor's a goalie, we leave him alone. We do not instruct him. He's an independent thinker, and I like that. Yes, he's on the field. He's like an island on the field. I also think that Trevor, on a personal level, he's going to do great things in this world. He is absolutely, combustible. He's got a fiery personality, and I'm sure he's going to break some things along his way to a very successful career. That is the way I feel about it.
He's a good player. He's somebody that is starting to understand this new style of soccer, is adapting to it real well, still has a little bit more growth to go, but because he puts in the effort and he's always there, I really can see him shining to be a real good player.
Tough and quiet, almost like a Marine on the field, to be honest with you. I think he's the kind of kid that, in my short time knowing him, you don't have to worry about him not always being a man of honor.
Very smart, composed player. Reads the game really well. Loves multiple sports.
Dante is that kid that we added right when we were kind of making another pivot. And he can play, he can play multiple positions. He's very good in that pivot in front of the defender, and he's very good on the wing as well. And Dante, was that kid, unbelievably, skilled and smart in the back. That took us to the next level from a physical standpoint, but also from a mental.
We brought Dante on. What made us really like Dante right away was his understanding and his vision. He plays my style. Simple, composed, doesn't try to force, plays possession. Again, is somebody in a tough position that had to learn a new style of soccer with me. And on his own, to have to really learn a new style of soccer. He's come a long way.
Mike is a terrific goalie, has also done everything we've ever asked him, works his tail off all the time.
Just another great play. Luke is just a very passionate, loves the game. Phenomenal footwork, crafty, visual, sees the plays before it happens, fun watching him. And I really enjoy seeing the love of the game come back into him.
We were able to give him the opportunity that he completely deserves. He's an excellent player. I think it's worked out really, really well for him. But, I just always saw the way he played and I liked it.
He's just a good player. And wherever I put him, he plays his position extremely well. And he makes players on the team around him better. The one thing that I take away from Brandon that I love, he's a leader. When I bring boys in at halftime or before a game, that boy's eyes are locked on my eyes the entire talk.
Leader. I think his hairdo is insane, but I think all the kids' hairdos with that curly thing is insane. But at the end of the day, God works in mysterious ways, and there's definitely a influence of his grandfather that's been passed down through the genes.
I would just describe Jim as someone who has unbelievable passion for the game. I don't think originally he was gifted with the talent that some of these other kids have, but he's getting very close to that talent because of the effort he puts in.
Jim, I respect as a person and as a player. Nobody works harder than Jim. Jim is highly committed to the team, and he also wants it. He wants to be a player.
And it's not because of his father. People who've known Jim 4 years ago that see Jim now, it's just that he worked at it harder. If he made a mistake on the field, he'd want to go home and practice that move. Man, his passion, it's hard to beat his passion.
Jim is somebody who, I'd say very, very quickly over the last, year and a half, 2 years. I think, when you have a son, this happens. We've had that transition. I'm always his father. I'm always going to be his father. But we have also developed friends. And, the things that I think, from time to time, Jim, he has his intensity and his emotions of which he gets from his father.
I probably yell, curse. When I get home, I'm super pissed. I kick stuff, throw stuff I'm not happy. I just go in my room and just try and leave me alone.
On the field, Jim is, he's pretty intense. So sometimes I will try to talk to him about stuff that I do think I could be helpful with, but I don't think I'm adding much value on the field. And he got taller than me now, so I don't know how much longer I can physically grab him and bring him over to the sideline.
Jim got a yellow card for yelling, screaming. And it was about 10 minutes ago in the first half. I pulled him out. And then halftime, I was furious. Then the start of the second half, I didn't start Jim. Because I've had the conversation with him. And I sat him the first 20 minutes of that game. And I'd never seen Jim so unease. I think over the years of having his father there, I didn't care. I had to tell Jim, I don't care who you are. This is where you're going to act. This is where you're going to sit.
It used to be when I first started doing it, I was oh, this dumb ref. I didn't curse it. Now I'm just why'd I do that? That's so stupid. And I'm I know David and my dad are gonna get mad. It's just a stupid thing to do. Just you just gotta keep learning after mistakes, and it'll get better. So I think I would like to do good.
It's always interesting, you know, with your kid, it's the intensity for the games. You know, I watch the games through my son's eyes, and you know, I bleed this stuff, and so does my son. And but above it all, like, I think, you know, I know the sentiments that we all have. I love my son very much.
I was nervous that game. And at that PK, I sat down on that floor and I didn't want to watch. I didn't want to watch. Because when I'm in those situations, I'm not thinking about it as a coach. I'm thinking about when I played.
I was watching that game, and I didn't say it to many people on the sideline. I didn't say it to Jim, but I knew that that's where that was going.
And man, you know the spotlight's on you, and you don't want to be the one to blow that situation. So the last thing I wanted to do that night was be a therapist to the kids. You know, I didn't want to have to spend the night talking to a child that feels like they let the whole team down because they missed a shot.
I'm gonna bring that game up too. That was also, we're up and this team comes back and ties it on us. So I'm gonna bring up Jimmy Draper on this. So who takes our penalty kicks usually is Jesse. But Jimmy took a penalty kick that game and he missed. He didn't miss it, it got blocked. So now we're going into penalty kicks. We went to double overtime. Now we're going into pens. And Jimmy happens to get picked for one of the guys that kicks the PKs. And I know in my mind, this man did not want to take not one kick that day after that.
Once he missed that PK at the end of the first half, I knew it was going to go there. So I did go over at halftime, and obviously you don't want to say to your son, you're up 2-1. You know, you're going to probably go to PK, so get ready.
A lot of people out there were like, oh no, this is happening right now. But he didn't pause, stuck his head up. He didn't take a second to take that shot. As soon as the ref said take the shot, he took the shot. And if we go back on video, you see every other kid like be nervous. Now he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He went up there and made that shot. And I think I was more excited than the boys that game, jumping up and down. And I was so happy that we got to that point. It was like, I felt like we won the tournament because of what that happened in that game and how we performed in that game. And yeah, I was very excited. It brought me back to my childhood when I was a kid, and I was jumping up and down, pushing kids. And I caught myself because then I had to run back and grab the camera.
They would have forgot about it by now, but that day, that would have been very tough. And boys can be tough on each other, you know? Some boys probably could have said, well, if you would have hit the shot, we would have won. You know, so I would have, all those things were going through my mind. How do we deal with these situations if they don't make it, or if we lose in this? And winning that, I mean, we hit all 5 shots, you know? And then I started saying to myself, and all the credit is due to the boys. But I was very happy that every single practice, the boys will tell you, we end with PKs. We practice PKs at the end of every practice. So deep down inside, because if we would have missed them, it's always easy to talk after a game. Parents and players all probably would have said to me, well, you know what, we should work on PKs, right? Yeah, it's coach's fault. So I'm very happy that was been implementing all year.
Dave came to me and said, you know, with the PKs, he was like, well, you know, where's his head? And it's your choice. And I thought about it a little bit, and I came to the decision of, number one, I think that he is one of our better PK shooters if he has the skill level to do it, okay? You know, but number two was, you don't get many chances in life, no matter how silly a 14-year-old soccer game is, to have those moments. So I wanted to, much like I told you a little bit about in the beginning, the thing that I kind of learned from my mother about jumping off the diving board, I felt it was something that a gift I wanted to give to my kid was, hey, when you fail, you climb back on and you try again. At the end of the day, I know that when I am older, I will never forget that moment. God, there wasn't a week that went by during COVID where we didn't, deliver food. We did a lot over at the Stony Brook Hospital. We did a lot over at the hospital on the South Shore.
And we had about 60 doctors and nurses outside of the ambulance bay, all in hazmat gear. This was like hardcore COVID time.
And it wasn't just that we, brought some sandwiches over or we gave a couple bucks. We got the kids involved.
That was a real special moment, It really was a special moment.
Rob has taught me that it's not about money. That's one thing. He's also taught me that, and that's funny because it's coming from a financial guy. He was the one, you see, I was all about winning. Like I'm a guy that I wanted to be all about winning, but he's taught me also it's about friendships. I just think it's the best thing that we could do, man. And it teaches our kids how to give back. And I love that they're involved in it, all of them.
The top soccer thing actually started in my mind and in practice probably at about, oh God, it might have been 2013 or 14. And then, you set out to do things and then sometimes, you don't follow through on what you want to do. But you know what I found, I guess what I really got excited about was the guy who's just been fabulous is Dave. I told Dave that I wanted to do something like this.
So Rob comes to me and says, listen, something that I've always wanted to do that means a lot to me, which is not just about soccer, but it's something that I want to help out these children, but I want to do it with my kids. I want my kids to be a part of this, and I want to be there with my kids while we do this. And I had a talk with the boys, and I said, listen, this is very important. And I want you all there. But if you're not going to give me 100%, you're not going to take it serious, I don't want you there.
It's very nice to give back to people that aren't as fortunate as us.
I take away how fortunate we are, that some people can't play soccer every day and can't do everything we could do every day.
Every time they leave, they always have a big smile on their face. It makes everyone feel so much better.
Us giving them that opportunity, it's really good in our heart, and the kids, they love it.
It feels nice because, they aren't as fortunate as we are, and they, I guess, can't really play soccer, but with our help, they've played.
I think it's amazing what we do for them, because I know all those kids enjoy it so much of it, every single weekend.
I can be one of them and they can be one of us. We're all playing soccer. It doesn't matter who you are. Soccer doesn't define you as a person.
I'm thankful that I could go out and just play whenever I want and not need someone to help me.
It's heartbreaking to see them in that state, but it's at the end, seeing them happy is all that matters.
I feel like top soccer is always just a great opportunity. It's never a pain to be there.
Probably don't do that much stuff, and that's their time they get to go and basically do whatever they want, have fun and be treated just like normal kids just playing soccer.
I think it's a great idea for the people that can't play soccer because of disabilities. They can play with people that can, and they can learn better.
It's such an amazing program for the kids because we learn how to treat others like we want to be treated, and we see the top soccer kids as one of us.
It makes me so happy, but also I'm playing soccer with all my friends, and a lot of these kids are so cute and so nice that it's so awesome. We all love it so much.
And they're so happy. They love it, you know? And it's rewarding for me to be the person who's in charge of these boys. It's like what I talked about earlier, is teaching them more than just soccer. You know, they're learning more than just soccer with this. They're great kids. Some of them have disabilities, and that doesn't mean that they're not good people, you know? And it's teaching our boys and families that. These kids just wish they could have the same opportunity as us. And what I love is that it really brings a genuine atmosphere to our boys. But I think I remember what struck me was how excited they were when they accomplished a task that a 2-year-old can do. The love that these parents have for you and the love that these kids have. We have one boy, when we first started, the mom sent me an email because we gave them all uniforms. The mom says to me, on Monday, he puts the uniform on and says, I can't wait for Saturday.
The joy I seen in their parents' faces that day, it was crazy. Like, there's a little girl playing soccer on a wheelchair. And I don't know what goes on in her mind. I know she never thought she'd be able to do that. And I love it. It's all different ages, like, and the joy, like, they're so happy to see us. Like, and it's the simple things, man, like, we take for granted. We all take for granted. And kicking a ball up the field and having someone just shh can mean a world of a difference, man.
I was amazed that through my playing career, I would see a player throw a tantrum on a soccer field on my own team that he missed a shot or he didn't get a pass. And then you saw a boy in the special needs kick a ball 3 feet and jump up and down with excitement, you know? And it really made me really appreciate life. Right? There's more things to life than scoring a winning goal.
But at the end of the day, I think that what the Top Soccer, in a very selfish way, really is that it is a reminder of the things that make youth sports with our children so special and so memorable, and I think bring out the intensity. Top Soccer reminds me of that thing that I see in the parents' eyes when they look at their kids and they really just kind of, they're proud of their kids.
I'm hoping that after this soccer experience, the relationships we made, they will last a very long time with the families and the boys after this team is done. Because teams like this leave a lasting memory. So again, The biggest thing is that thank you for trusting and believing on us. And hopefully we help build that trust in you.
This has been and will continue to be the greatest thing that I've ever had the privilege of being involved with. But outside of family, I can't think of anything else in my life that has had more of a impact, has created more important, permanent memories, and has allowed me to do something that I think is, the years that we have our kids, I think it's the most important part of our life. It's not when you get older, you'll do different things, but when I think about the soccer experience, I have to say, it's how I've experienced my kids' childhood. And, I think all you can really say at the end of that is to the kids and the parents, thanks.